This is everybody's day. This is everybody's day. There are many postures of existence that sustain life in the spirit and life by the spirit, so that the one who has experienced the revival can continue to be revived. What we are asking God for in the revival is not a first time asking for many people. You have been revived before. It means you lived, but you died. You have lived, you have died. You have lived, you have died. A time should come when it must be a journey from life to life, and not life to death, then life. That every dose of life only carries you as far as you need another higher dose of life. So it's a journey from one energy level, a lower one, to a higher energy level, not a journey from the current energy level back into the last one, and then you go back. So it looks as if momentarily you are making motion, but cumulatively you are going in a circle. Say, Kai, this brother don't start to pray now. Kai, see fire. You know how we talk about prayer? See fire, see fire. Say, look at his life. He looks like Jesus. And then after 2 weeks, say, oh, you know what? When they have pombele to your devil's child, is an adjective that means that there is no iota of God inside you. You are a pure Satan son. That's what pombele means. This guy does not know Jesus. May your life not occasion such statements. I'm saying, Pastor Diola, church people are not immune to those kind of descriptions. When the world calls somebody who goes to church and says stop going to church, you are not one of them. Say you want to argue. You know now. Does Jesus look like this when the world becomes the teacher? Does Jesus look like this? And some people just say, leave me. And then you wake up the next Sunday and you show up in prayer department. Oh, you're wasting your time. You can help the work, but you'll be a worker of iniquity because he does not know you. Don't let me waste my time. Help me. The design of the revival is that after you have been revived, you stay revived. And then you become an agent in the hand of God to occasion revival. Are you getting my point? That after you have been lit, you don't go back to darkness. You now become a torch in the hand of God to light other people. That's the design. Not that you keep going in circles. You are lit today, you are dark tomorrow. And then you look for a place. You know, some people, every impartation meeting they go for is the same thing they are looking for. They find it. They operate it. And after 2 weeks, they say, see, that thing no stay. It doesn't stay because there's no accommodation. Isaac, if this is the only property I have in my house, this chair, when you come visiting, and it's night, you remember you have a bed in your hostel, Abi? Even if we are discussing, will you not say let's continue tomorrow? Because you don't want to be caught overstaying, lest this one chair becomes your bed. So there are many things that lift off because there's no accommodation for them. I want this one to remain. It's not normal that too many times in a lifetime they are saying, Lord, revive us. Is that how we die? The death rate is too frequent. We want to stay alive. That God will put a light in my heart, and that light will outlast my existence. That when I am gone, the people will not come and meet an altar that is dead. They will not need to know too much about altar construction, because what I have built has become immortal, and the fire will continue to burn. That's what I want to leave behind. that I become a portal by the message of God into certain dimensions. Because I know that God gives dimensions as inheritance to saints. Yes. That if you want to get saved, you will pass through the gates of Abraham. Because there's no other gate that gets you saved. Outside the gate of justification by faith. That was it. That's Abraham's gate. He believed, and it was accounted unto him for righteousness. There's no other way to smuggle yourself into the economy of God. No other way. Ye have heard of the patience of Job. Job has owned that place permanently. That too many things happened to him. He was in poor position to curse God and die. But I know that my Redeemer liveth. That was Job. He pioneered a pathway in patience. When Jesus was talking about meekness, we found out that meekness is already owned in the spirit. You can only be a replica. There's an original in patience. Who did he call it? In meekness, rather. What did he call it? Moses. He was the meekest. I know you have built sermons around how he dishonored God before the people and lost the promise. But God is saying even those who entered the promised land are not as meek as him. He owns a place. When you step out of this world, what landed property in the spirit will you leave? That when we call your name, your dimensions will come. Tap your neighbor. Tell them labor to own something. Okay, don't tap them, slap them. Labor to own something. Israel is afraid. Labor to own something. There is too much land that nobody is owning. We are cramming ourselves into small spaces. Some places are already overcrowded. Like they do in Lagos. They do what they call it land. Is it reclamation or something? But the process is that once they find out that we want to expand and the ocean has taken land, what they do is that they begin to sand fill. They begin to stone pitch. It's a lot of work. If you will own in the spirit, you will labor to get your share. It's your share, but it's a rest that you will labor to come into. That when they mention that thing, it will come with your name. The gates of fire already possessed. The man who owns that gate was able to operate it, not to validate the energy of God, but to validate his being a man of God. If I be a man of God, let the reality of the land that is mine in God, let it be occasioned. Fire came, took out 51. Took out 51. Then the third one came with sense and said, see, before you, our life is your hands. When it comes to exhibiting the territorial reality of divine presence, it's owned by a man. Samuel pioneered a system in Naioth of Ramah that if you came too close, you did not become saved. If you came too close, you moved into an ordination. What? You prophesied. And if you set your heart on pilgrimage in a day that the bandwidth is high, before you arrive you will be naked and you'll be prophesying. Men have found things in God. You see this pity struggling kind of faith work that we have is trying to give a false witness to God that he cannot keep the ones that he has saved. The Bible said these are they that are kept by the power of God. There is a dimension of the outworkings of the power of God that keeps men. The apostles understood that there was a vault in God where men could be safe kept. Unto him that is able to keep thee from falling. What they were doing was that they found a place of safekeeping, and because